all right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live experience here on Twitch and Facebook, and also a non-live experience later on YouTube and Spotify and everywhere else. Guys, we have a huge treat this week for episode 35 of Tunesday Tuesday. Can y'all believe we have been doing this for over 30 weeks? It's insane. And we have such a special guest here this week. Her name is Miley Henderson, and she is going to lead off a really cool theme this week for Tunesday Tuesday, where most of our songs tonight that we play are going to be from artists under the age of 18, including our special guest, Miss Miley Henderson, as I mentioned before. Now, Miley is the granddaughter of an original Texas tornado that was inducted by Buddy Magazine way back in the 70s. Her grandfather is Bugs Henderson, and Miley is originally from the East Texas area. We're super stoked to be chatting with Miley tonight. I do want to let folks know, though, that if you are listening and watching live on Twitch and Facebook, you are more than welcome to request a song live. Just make sure you put the song title and the artist name in your chat, and we will certainly play it for y'all, as long as it's not offensive in any way or you know, has bad lyrics or whatever. So just make sure of that. And of course, if you're watching in the future on either YouTube or Spotify or elsewhere, I want you guys to know that if you want to listen to the entire 90 minutes of music that is coming up after the interview, you can click the episode 35 recap in your description below, and you'll get the entire thing, the interview and the music and everything else. But without any further ado, guys, we are going to get into this awesome conversation with my friend Miley right now. Let's check it out, and let's get it set up for y'all. Miley Henderson, hello. How are you tonight?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to have you here. I think this is really the first time we've ever spoke in person, right?
Yes.
So I've known who you are for a really, really long time, and for such a young artist, you've also been doing this for a really long time, right? When did you
Yes.
start playing and picking around and writing and all that?
Well, it's kind of a weird timeline because I started singing pretty much like three or four, like just like singing in the house, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And then I started like singing with people when I was 8. I did like I got up on stage with Mike Clark. A lot of people call him Junior. When I was like 8 and sang "You Can Have My Husband," which was like the song I would always sing if I went places, which was weird because I was like 8, but everyone loved it. And then I did like little karaoke gigs where I would sing to backtracks. But I started playing guitar when I was 13 and then writing during COVID. So I think I was about 13 then too.
So, I mentioned in the intro, and we'll get this out of the way quickly. You are the granddaughter of Bugs Henderson.
Yes.
So no pressure, right, when it comes to
No pressure.
yeah, no pressure whatsoever, especially with a guitar in your hand.
Right? Oh my gosh, I know.
So, I mean, tell us, did you how much do you know about Bugs? I know that he passed away probably when you were pretty young, right?
Yeah, he passed away when I was about 4. But I did go to some of his gigs before he passed away when I was super, super little. Um, I only really remember one, and I fell asleep in the booth. So
Yeah.
I was super, super little. But yeah, I mean, I love his music. I listen to him all the time. Us as a family, we listen to him a lot. We did a lot of the tributes. I sang at some of them. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot about Bugs.
And one thing I want to tell folks out there is when you're Bugs Henderson was part of a very, very thick and endless, really, musicianhood here in East Texas, right? And so I imagine being kind of kin to that. A lot of these guys that played with Bugs have probably taken you under their wing, haven't they?
Yes.
So what's that like, kind of hearing stories about the guy and from someone who came before you?
It's honestly like so like endearing. I really love to hear the stories, even from my mom. I love to hear stories about him because he was honestly like a crazy guy. Like
Mm-hmm.
the things that she would tell me are just like so shocking, and like even the stories I would hear from like Mike or even Jopi Drew.
Mm-hmm.
He was a really good friend of ours, and he loved Bugs. I'm used to calling him Daddy Bugs because that's what we would call him, but
Sure, yeah.
I'm trying to just call him Bugs. But anyways, Yeah, I mean, I just loved hearing stories from everyone. Anytime I would go anywhere, they'd be like, "Oh, this is his granddaughter," so it always made me feel super like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
Yeah, and I mean, at the same time, you're trying to create your own identity, right, as an artist, and that's
Yeah.
going to be super difficult. I mean, when you're derived from such a legend, right?
It definitely is very difficult, especially because I'm not really in that lane. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
it's a
like
different genre and
crazy.
style. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
super. And he was like a crazy good guitar player, and like I am nowhere close to that.
Right.
So like I'm always worried that like people are gonna like click on my stuff hoping to hear things like that and then be disappointed. But I hope that they'll be able to see like that the music is carried down, but just in like a different way.
Yeah, and you have to temper expectations, right? You are always going to be your own artist, your own writer, your own player. Whatever that story is, it's going to be your own. It's just your grandfather's part of that story. He doesn't have to be the whole story.
For sure.
And hopefully people will understand that as consumers and fans of music. So other than your grandfather, who were some of your inspirations and influences growing up? Because you did mention your genre and style is a little different. Actually, a lot different, really.
Yeah. Well, musician wise, like around me, I was super inspired by Joe B. I love the way that he writes. I would go to his gigs all the time just for fun. I mean, every once in a while he would get me up and let me sing, which I just loved. But yeah, we're super good friends with him, and he has such a great writing style. So I just absolutely loved his stuff. But bigger artists, like I love Jack Johnson. I love the way that he writes. I love Sarah Bareilles, and then like vocal wise, I love Kelly Clarkson
Yeah, great writers, all right.
for
I mean,
sure.
those are great writers. Jack Johnson is not a bad one to follow, and you will be featuring one of his songs tonight, which I love because I'm a huge Jack Johnson fan. So,
Oh, perfect.
yeah, when you said that, I was like, yes, let's go. Um, so, I mean, this is a serious thing for you. You are going to school, I understand, in the Nashville area, right? For music,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'm going to Belmont and I'm majoring in songwriting.
Yeah, so this is not a hobby for Miley
Nope.
Henderson. This is what you're wanting to do. So man, I love Jopi Drew as a songwriting influence of yours because I love Jopi as well. His music is amazing. But having that early influence kind of in East Texas, and now you're in Belmont, which is going to be a completely different thing that you're learning. Are you learning the structure of things now with Belmont and kind of how to create a song structurally? Is that part of it?
I know that's part of the curriculum, and we also have to take a music theory class, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about music theory.
Right.
I just kind of do whatever comes to me and just hope that that sounds right. Um, it's just most of my stuff is kind of like mental, just hope that it like sounds great, but I don't really know a lot of like the like structure, I guess,
Yeah.
music theory, just certain things like that. So I'm super excited to learn that in Belmont and take a lot of courses in that because I want to be more knowledgeable.
Yeah, I'll keep it real. I'm not real knowledgeable in a songwriting course, which is kind of why I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I imagine they're probably trying to teach the nuts and bolts of things, but they're also located in Nashville, so I'm curious how style and genre kind of mix into the education there. When you're not in school, are you networking around town? Are you playing out, or I mean, how's it going for you locally there?
I play a lot of gigs here. It's different than East Texas. I feel like in Texas, I I wouldn't say that I played more, but I played different places, like
Yeah.
more different places. I feel like there was more in Texas than there was in Clarksville because I don't live in Nashville yet.
Okay.
It's about an hour outside of Nashville, and I do some gigs in Nashville sometimes, but since it's an hour away, I try not to go too crazy far, for a gig.
Yeah.
Um, but in Clarksville, yeah, I play a lot. I just feel like I play a lot of the same places, and I'm really hoping to like once I go to Nashville, kind of pick up some new places and new environments.
And what is your plan for after school? Once school is in the rearview mirror, what's it look like for you strategically?
Well, I'm hoping to become like a full-time artist. That's a really hard question to answer.
Sure.
I honestly like I would love to say that I know exactly what I'm doing, but like I'm 18. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I know it's going to be something in music, whether it's something in the producing lane or something in marketing, but I really want to do art. Like, I really would rather just be an artist, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, and if someone held a gun to your head and tried to get you to define yourself stylistically or genre wise, what would you say?
Um, I guess I would say it's like a little bit of country folk pop. I guess like a
Yeah.
little mixture of all of that because I don't really know exactly where I am yet. I'm still kind of like playing with my sound, you know?
Growing within your art, right?
For sure, yeah.
And being such a young artist, that's really important, I feel, right? And kind of picking up influences along the way. Have you done that in Nashville or the Tennessee area as well? Kind of picked up on other influences while you were there?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, before we moved here, I was going here for like a songwriting camp
Yeah.
in Nashville, and then that's kind of a little bit of what brought us here, but I made a whole bunch of friends like that do totally different genres or sometimes a little bit the same. But you're actually gonna have one of my friends on the show in a little bit.
No kidding. Who?
um, the blank page.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually met. Well, I met Jack first through songwriting, and then I met Avery. She came to the last camp we had. But they're so great. I love
Yeah.
them. His guitar playing is out of this world.
Yeah. They
It's
emailed us
super good.
recently and blew me away. I love their
I
sound.
know.
Yeah.
I know they're great. And so yeah, I met a lot of like young artists through there and I really loved that like I was meeting people that were my age that were doing
Sure.
what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, that's important too. Like again, I mean, when you're in Tennessee, whether you're at school or whatever, networking is so important, right? You gotta. And another thing you have to learn really as a young artist is how to kind of leave your ego out of your creativity as well, right? That's super
For sure.
important. Yeah. So you're also releasing music as a young artist. We played Peace earlier as our intro, but your featured song this week is Lavender Blue as well. So you do have solo acoustic, or not acoustic, but solo original music out there. Tell us about
Yes.
Lavender Blue and kind of the story behind the creation of the song.
So Lavender Blue I wrote actually at a songwriting camp. Um we do this thing where we write a song within a week and then we perform it that weekend. And I was really struggling to find a song like just to write anything, especially because I'm around friends, so all I want to do is like hang out with people, you know.
Yep.
But I ended up with Lavender Blue and I performed it with my friends. We did some really cool harmonies and it was super fun. And then probably about 2 months later, I got a call from um, one of the camp directors. His name's Adam, and he called me and was asking if I would want to open for Jordan Davis at their Troubadour event with this song, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I got to like do a whole band. Like they hooked me up with like an entire band. We did the whole thing live, and the next we got to watch like the Jordan Davis concert. It was literally like I was like blown away. I was like, I'm living the dream right now.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I was like, okay, well, I need to get it out. Then I need to like release it so I can tell people like when I play, please stream the song, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I can also like tell Jordan Davis like,
Right.
hey, this is my song.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I recorded it. I think took about like three months maybe. We just went in with musicians and then I did all the vocals. But yeah, and now it's out.
So what's that like as a young artist getting into the studio for the first time? Because that can be very overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, I've actually done it before and I did it once when I was like really little when I was like 10. That was the first time I was in a studio. And that I still have the recording of it and I listen to it sometimes. I'm like, oh, I was so little, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So little, but it's definitely different from live, you know. Like coming back and listening to my vocals, I'm like, that's weird. Like, it doesn't feel like I sound like that, but maybe I do, you know? And it's not always like a bad thing. I'm not
Sure.
saying I might have sounded great, like, I don't know. But when I sing live, like, I feel like I sound a lot better than when I sing in a studio. And I just think that's mainly because I haven't had a lot of practice.
Yeah.
But
So are you openly critical of yourself when you hear yourself back?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm like my biggest hater, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you have somebody close to you that you trust that can kind of be that too? Like, they'll tell you the truth. You know they're telling you the truth, and that can kind of help you grow. Is there someone like that in your life?
My mom,
Yeah.
100%. But that's also because she knows so much about music from
Sure.
her dad,
Yeah.
And so I take her with me pretty much everywhere I go. She's like, especially if I'm in the studio, I'm like, yeah, like my mom's gonna come if that's okay, because she can help me, like, give me little bits of pointers or be like, well, you're kind of doing this a little bit. And I'll be like, yeah, I know. Like if I'm rushing or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so she's like my biggest supporter, but also she'll like let me know, like if something's a little off, like she'll totally let me know.
That's really, really important. Just so you know, going forward, like that's really important to have somebody in your life that will tell you how it is. And
Yeah,
even the
for
bad
sure.
points, like you have to be willing, like I said earlier, leave your ego at the door because your mom's not going to steer you wrong, and you need that voice that's not going to just sugarcoat something for you.
Oh, I know. I'm
So,
so glad that like she's like she will tell me. Like
mhm.
she's not like a lot of the people are like sorry. There's some people out there like their moms will just be like, "Oh, you're so good," like things like that. My mom will tell me like, "Look,
Yep,
that was good, but it could have been better."
yeah.
Like and that's what I like honestly like respect that so much because it like really helps me
Mhm.
become so much better than I was before.
Yeah, and 90% of your growth is going to come from a negative space. Just remember that, right? You're not necessarily going to grow from doing something right, but if you make a mistake, that's where you can really grow and learn from those things, and become a better artist and really ultimately a better human too, right? I mean, that's important as well. We did mention a little bit earlier that she was influenced by Jack Johnson, and so much so that Miley's pick of the week is a Jack Johnson song, and the song she chose is let me click on the right thing, is Selling Sunsets for Somebody Else. So you could choose any song in the world for your pick of the week. Why did you choose this one?
So this song has kind of been in my mind a little bit like I feel like every week I kind of have a song that like I'm just listening to over and over again. And I just like really like the meaning behind this song. Like it's just like nothing is ever enough for some people, and um just like his writing is so good. And I feel like I mean every week I feel like it's one of his songs,
Yeah.
like I'm just listening to one of his songs over and over again. But me and my brother actually like we started listening to him one day on our way to school. Like I drive my brother to school, and we just like absolutely loved him. And then we kept on listening and more. And then this ended up being one of our favorite songs. And we were just talking about it the other day that like if we ever did music, like we always talk about like we want to do a duo one day, but we were like talking about if we ever did music, like this is the kind of stuff that we would want to do.
Yeah. What I love about Jack Johnson is his songwriting seems so simple, but if you really listen, it's totally not. There's so much happening in the
I know.
song, and it's just crazy how he's able to make it seem so simple when it really isn't. And that's usually the testament of a really good artist, right?
He's so good. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
So it's Miley Henderson here on the Boston Chris Show for the very first time. I want to tell you folks where you can follow along with Miley. I hope you guys will do it because she's going to be a great artist. And her website is mileyhenderson.com. You can see her name all spelled out in front of you. And we'll make sure for you folks that are watching or listening on our future podcast, we'll put a link in the description below for that. We'll also put it in the chat very shortly for you folks that are watching live as well. Follow Miley everywhere. She's got a Facebook, an Instagram, a TikTok, and a YouTube. And y'all get this, her branding is all the same. It's Miley Henderson Music on all four. This doesn't happen. Usually artists are all over the place with their at. Yours,
I thought I would
myself,
make it very easy.
yeah, myself included. I'm all over the place too. So you're very lucky to have just uniform branding across all platforms. So it's just at Miley Henderson Music everywhere. Miley, thanks for doing this for us, and I hope you have
Of
a
course,
great
thank you
night.
for having me.
Sure, and we're excited to play your music, and you have an open invite anytime you want to come back, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, you have a great night.
Y'all too.
All right, we're going to get into the music, guys. That was Miley Henderson live here on the Boston Chris Show via Tunesday Tuesday. And it is our favorite part of the show when we get to play some music. And of course, we are all music fans here. Let me figure out what the heck I'm doing. All right, here we go. The camera works. Let's go. Guys, the very first song we're going to play tonight is the aforementioned featured song from Miley Henderson.